Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or blink. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Most traders drown in charts and still miss the real levels. Get clear daily roadmaps for the S&P 500 futures. Levels, setups, and strategies that matter. Delivered straight to your inbox pre-market every morning. Subscribe now on Substack. Conquer the markets.
Yo, what's up? Another exciting day. Welcome to the Post-Market Breakdown. I'm your host, Ryan Bailey. Here we are. You guys know who it is. You know what time it is. It is time to go over the trade plan and the action and what is going to happen tomorrow. Lo and behold, we got all the reactions we thought we were going to get today. Everything worked out pretty on point. So pretty happy with the way the plan worked out. We had a super solid day in the room today. I hope all of you guys who are watching and our Discord members also had a pretty exciting day. We absolutely crushed it. So for those of you who are subscribers, if you're interested in getting into this Discord room, let me know. Hit me up. You qualify if you're a subscriber. We had about 25 people in the stream today. We were just doing our thing. It was great. So we'd love to have you in there, conquer the markets with you day in and day out. I'm now streaming live in the room Tuesday through Fridays from 9:30 to noon. Make some money and get up out of there before lunchtime. That's how we do it. So if you're interested, hit me up, shoot me a DM, shoot me something or other. I'll get you in there, get you taken care of. So with that being said, we're going to talk about today. So, we've had an incredible couple of days of just pure squeeziness, right? So we had, the big day on essentially Tuesday. And then today we continued with our squeeziness and the overnight session. We basically opened up 50 points. And they came right into our big spots. Guys, if you did not watch the post-market breakdown yesterday, you should watch it. I'm actually going to show you a few little areas that somebody in the room, I got to tell you, I've got some really great people that are part of this community. A guy in the room, we were talking TML, he actually took screenshots of yesterday's post-market breakdown and was posting in the stream while we were talking. And they really went right in tune with what we were thinking about this area up here at 33. It was funny because my thoughts then, I don't remember. Like, I've smoked weed since then, right? So, I forget little things here and there. And, he brings it to my attention. I'm like, damn, that was perfect. Okay, that's what's up. So, everything's working out exactly as planned, and we'll get into that. So if you haven't watched that yesterday, it's going to coincide with exactly what we talked about today. As I'm starting to kind of look around the markets here, I do want to talk about what is the potential for tomorrow, just because, I haven't been in front of my computer since about 1 o'clock. So had an interesting little spill today from our upside target, which was cool. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, you guys know what to do here. Before we even get started, make sure you follow me across all these socials, guys. It is Ryan Bailey Edge across YouTube, X, Substack, and Trading View. We got some new indicators coming up. We're working on a new one. My boy Piper actually is all over it right now with an options vol indicator that I actually put out in publication every morning. Speaking of, with that being said, I'm going to show you an article that you guys will want to look at here shortly. Shane, what's up, brother? How we doing? Shane, Russell, good to see you guys. Glad to see you made it. So make sure you follow me across all these socials, guys. I am constantly putting stuff out there. There's at least one nugget out there a day. I'm going to tell you that for sure. The Trading View stuff, I am constantly working to bring you guys more value so that you can sharpen your edge a little bit there. And obviously the Substack is where it's at. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Substack, even to the free side, do yourself a favor. Come on over there, because I am really just putting out the hits over there. So that's what's up. I do want to show you guys this. Actually, I put this out today. Let me go ahead and pull this down for you. This is an article that everybody should read. And the reason that I say that is because, hang on one second, let me back up here. Give me one. Yeah. Okay, right here. So, oh shit. So let's see. When the trade plans come out in the morning, you guys get a couple levels here. And even all the free, this is actually in front of the paywall. So anybody who looks at this is going to be able to see these options volatility levels. They're for both ES and NQ. I was a firm user of these for years before I met Rob, and then Rob came up with the GEX levels. You guys know that is essentially the volatility levels that we use. So with that being said, one of the things that I wanted to show you guys here is these are extremely valuable for understanding ranges and also potential overextensions. And so you're going to see these every single morning. You have been seeing them. I just put out a whole article on exactly how to read these things, how to interpret them, what they do, what they're for, et cetera, et cetera. Do yourself a favor, read this article. It is certainly worth it. And since you're looking at the trade plan every day, this is part of the package that I'm putting together for people that'll be out this week. I'm putting together all kinds of awesome stuff for you guys. All subscribers will get this, and then new subscribers as well. Putting together a 10-day challenge pack. I'm making a small video for you guys, putting a bunch of stuff together. So when you come in, you know exactly what you need to do to make money the next day. So that's exciting for everybody, because I want to make sure everybody is getting the full benefit out of these. So that'll be good. And I'm excited to get this stuff done. So let's go ahead and get right into the trade plans, guys. Actually, before I do that, I just want to put it out there. I don't know if you guys know this, but great for practice accounts. Apex Trader Funding, 90% off. Use code VICI at checkout. It's totally worth it. We're burning them up in the room right now. 150K accounts are $70. 50K accounts are like $30. If you're looking to practice your strategy, that's where it's at. Also, another one of my favorite prop firms, guys, they're running a 50% off sale right now. Lucid, use code VICI at checkout again, 50% off. One of the things I like about Lucid the best is the fact that you pay one time, and if you go over the month, you don't have to pay again. So one-time fee. So I know for me, guys, listen, I'm slow and steady over here, right? So I do $500 to $1,000 a day. Some days I don't take any trades, just depends, whatever. Sometimes it takes me over a month to beat these things. It's only 20 trading days, right? If I'm gone for a week, whatever. I love the fact that you don't have to pay to continue your subscription. A lot of these companies, they make you pay every month. Lucid does not. Use code VICI at the checkout. So you can go to my partners page. I have a ton of people that I recommend. Obviously, check them out. So let's get back into it here. Let's get into the meat, right? So here we go. So it's all about the title, guys. I try to make the title as clear as possible for everybody. As soon as you guys see this, you should know what time it is. The 63.33 inflection point. We talked about this big time yesterday. We also talked about our 65.81 above below daily and the VIX at 24.70. None of these levels should become a surprise to anybody here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from the top down. We're only going to read the highlighted sections here, and then we're going to get into the trade plans, okay? So we pushed above our significant daily at 65.81. This was yesterday and last night, putting us well above the previous weekly value area low, bringing us back into last week's value area. This was a huge accomplishment for the bulls, and we have almost reached the previous weekly point of control at 66.39. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say this out loud. We hit that this morning. You guys know it's a beautiful target hit. All right, back to this. We find ourselves in a very interesting crossroads this morning as we have approached is a massive make it or break it zone for direction. And I'm still a firm believer that I'm not convinced that this is going to go higher, or, we'll see. We're going to talk about that. So we are in the most critical inflection point on the entire map. The untested weekly at 66.27 and the untested daily at 66.33.25. This area is our line in the sand for more up or down, and still is, people, still is, okay? And as long as we remain below 66.33.25, we will remain suppressed, and the bears maintain their structure, okay? Now, for the final thoughts here. Now, we have squeezed hard, right? So this is very reminiscent of a bear market squeeze. We are on that significant line in the sand at 66.33, and that line still stands, everybody. We're going to talk about today. This is going to be the major tell for what we're going to accomplish today. If they end up accepting and pushing over 33, we could go up to 81, but if they remain below 33, we remain suppressed, okay? So the other big kicker is that we were looking to watch VIX around the 2470 monthly, which we've talked about a lot. There was a lot of overhead resistance on VIX, but the above below 2470 was the key. So as long as it stays below that, we will continue to drift higher. Okay, enough said. Very easy. All right. So let's go ahead and just start with SPX as usual. You guys know I'm a big fan of this. And so we're actually going to skip a little bit here. I don't want to dwell on this too much. I know most of you guys here for the ES. So I just wanted to show you because this all comes into play here. As you guys see, I had 65.81 as a big smack target. And then this 06 or 02, 03 area was our big midpoint. And then above 66.32, we pushed up into this higher untested leg area, which we've talked about many times. Obviously, under 05, I was convinced that we come down. Okay, so our resistance today is the 66.52 weekly. Okay, that was right here, right? So we, at the time of writing, we were technically below it as of yesterday's close. So this is an important above-below pivot, right? And it's directly above the untested, and directly above that we have 65.81 untested daily. That was this level right here. Okay. And then the massive 66.03 weekly, which could provide a reaction. So we've got three levels we're talking about: 52, 81, and then 03. Okay. So that's where we're going to leave that for now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this over so we can see what happened today. Right. So this is the higher time frame on the left. This is the small time frame on the right. You can see we literally gapped up above our major above below pivot, which is the 65.52. We pushed up into it, and it was pretty clear. We smacked on the 65.81 daily that I talked about, brought us all the way back down basically into this weekly, and they remained suppressed underneath it for a short period of time. So this daily this was our big above below weekly at 52. Well, we don't have to worry about it being resistance because we gapped over it. And then we pushed into our next resistance, 65.81. Okay. Brought us down into the big above below pivot, guys, right? Big above below. You guys remember me saying that? Big above below pivot. And then we basically got a couple more reactions, and then we pushed higher. And where do we push higher into? The 66.03 weekly and essentially the 06 4-hour. But you can see up here, we got a lot of reactions from this today, and actually spilled us pretty nice. It brought us down well over 50 points, which was a pretty juicy resistance area from up here, as you can see. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow, and we're going to get into that shortly. But, all our levels on SPX played out just right. And yeah, listen, it pushed through here 2 or 3 points and through here 2 or 3 points. But all in all, pretty damn nice. So especially considering we trade ES and we're not trading SPX. So here we go. Let's talk about VIX. VIX is going to be important for us today, guys. This is where we opened over here. Okay. This is where we opened. So the 2470 monthly barometer was big for us. It's a very significant level. We've talked about this forever. If we stay below it, we will have stay above it. We have a headwind, and we stay below it. We're going to grind higher. Okay. So we're going to use this as the floor and just basically watch for above below. Now I'm going to skip all this other stuff and get right to the meat of it. Basically, what we called out here was we have resistance at the 25.33 daily, which you can see we popped up at 9:50 in the morning and played it. And we had support at 23.43. Well, we came down here. It was very close. Didn't quite get it, but close enough, in my opinion. And guess where they came back up to? Boom. Right at this 25.33. And we remain back below 24.70. So we're still on the lower side of the barometer here. We played our resistance areas and technically kind of almost got into that support spot there. So a very interesting day. Our levels essentially played pretty spot on. I mean, it's, this upside was perfect 2 times. We missed the lower support by, I don't know, maybe a dime or something like that. But, listen, it is what it is. This is good stuff. This is great stuff. So Right now, we know that we're below 24.70, and now we've tested this 25.33. If they do indeed push higher, we'll come up to this next spot that we have here, which we'll talk about later. What's up, Raj? It's good to see you, dude. Pleasure. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, now we've talked about 25.33. We've talked about it more times than once. And here was the pre-market trade, you guys. Absolutely unbelievable. This was happening as I was writing the trade plan this morning. We had this massive weekly and daily inflection point at 27 and 33. This was our big line in the sand. This is our midpoint pivot. Above this, above 33, we target 81. Okay, fair enough, right? So we had this, we had the call wall at 52, the previous weekly at 39, right? So, and then here's what I wanted to show you guys. We had the previous weekly POC was right up here at 66.39. They actually reached up here and grabbed this on news pre-market. It was a beautiful test, especially because we talked about it, in the beginning. We went through the whole title and the whole 9 yards. And anytime that we reclaim the previous weekly value area, let me just go ahead and show you what I mean by that. And I had talked about this prior. We basically reclaimed this previous weekly value area on the push up. As you can see, we actually closed yesterday right here above it. And then when we opened, we were obviously inside of this. And so once you reclaim value, right, a value area, you spend enough time inside there, the first place that you want to target is the point of control. That's value. And so that's why I was so focused on this particular area. Plus it lined up with our 33 area, et cetera, right? Now, as we continue to spend more time in here, we will eventually traverse up into 66.93, maybe, okay, maybe. In my opinion, that was a pretty good target. If you guys look and see what's happened here, I actually left these extensions on for you. Look at this. We have our average weekly range normally is 198 points. Right now, we've moved 294 points already. 294. We've moved 150% already of our expected weekly range. As you can see, we are right up in here at the 1.5 extension. So we've already moved almost 50% more than normal. And so this is a pretty big range for this week. Now, we've got Trump at 9 o'clock tonight. I don't know if you guys realize that, but he's definitely going to move this market. It's hard to say what he's going to say. He's got some shit with NATO. He wants to leave NATO. He's all over the place, whatever. He actually attended his court hearing today, was the first president in history to ever show up to a Supreme Court hearing regarding his what do they call that? Executive order things for this whole war and the whole 9 yards. He's a little frustrated. So it's hard to say what he's going to say. So with that being said, I'm not sure how much higher we go. We're going to talk about that. We talked about it in the stream. We're going to talk about it with you guys, and then we'll go from there. But we do still have this gap here below us here. And if we end up coming in and filling this gap, we have that big daily at 81. I was really expecting that to get tested today, and they did not. We're going to get into that right now. So I wanted to show you what I meant by reclaiming the previous weekly value area low. That's why this 39 was our target, and that actually happened perfectly. So let's go ahead and come over here. Now, first and foremost, as you can see, I even talked about a price reaction in this zone. Look for us to get back around 65.81. That was this red line here. I was really gunning for this today. I was really coming for that. Actually, I kind of held my shorts a little too long, just to be quite frank. Didn't screw myself over or anything, but I really kind of gave back some money, really just kind of pushing for this. So, it is what it is, right? We still made money. So if price accepts above 66.33, we can push higher all the way into our massive daily at 66.8150. Well, that didn't exactly happen today. That doesn't mean that it won't. And so we will talk about that a little bit more here shortly. So just to show you guys what's happened here. So that pre-market short paid like 40 points, 35, 40 points. And then this is after the market had opened. You can see this is a cash session chart here. This is SPX on this side. As you can see, we came back up and we played the 27 here. We were all short from the Discord room, and we brought it down, and we took our first target here at the open, which was a pretty sizable trade here. It was 20 points. And then obviously, as you can see, I was looking for both 94 and then, of course, try to get down to 84, gunning for that 81. You know what I mean? I wasn't bullshitting when I told you I was really gunning for it. And this is even a picture that proves it. And as you can see here, this is another part that kind of gave me confidence. This was SPX. This is our 65.81 daily. You can see it played perfectly, right? And then they came back up and they retested 81 and we started to fall. Unfortunately, we only made it basically back down to, I don't know, maybe 6,500 or something like that. And they basically, came back up and we went higher, which is fine. No big deal, whatever. But at least, I just wanted to show you guys. So not only did we have the 33 play, the 27-33 play in the overnight session, but the 27 actually played very well once again in the cash session, paid over 25 points, which was sweet. Actually, this is 30 points if you got the high, 30-point move. And then, of course, a little scalp in between. And we had SPX to kind of back us up on that. But again, the whole time we're watching this, VIX was just falling out. And, I kept saying to everybody in the stream, that is really the most discouraging part of this whole short, was that VIX was coming down. And I'm like, this is more than likely not going to work out. So, with that being said, it didn't, and we continued to look higher. So that's cool as well. So with that being said, this was really kind of our last little short here. But once we realized that VIX was dumping still, and we weren't going to come down and test, basically grab yesterday's high, they were going to continue to move forward. That's when we basically just have to shift gears. Don't get stuck in your bias, you shift gears. And so this is how we played it in the Discord room today. This actually was not in the trade plan because this developed after the day had already started. So as you'll see, we had a 1 hour level at 66.28 right here, which is also very close to our weekly level at 27. That is this weekly level right here that we played. As you can see, 27 is the purple level. And that is actually the structure that we're going to be looking at here shortly right here. So what we did was we waited for price to firmly close above at this point. And I told everybody in the room, hey guys, 28 might be a great long. And if we get this, we can take it all the way up to the overnight high and essentially 66.50, which you can see my target here. We had a naked point of control that I pointed out in the trade plan today. I'll show you guys where it was coming from. I actually had this highlighted for you guys. This is always a great place to take money, guys. Naked points of control do act as heat-seeking targets, big magnets. Not only that, but they tend to get a reaction. Because why? Because that is untested value at some point. That, for this day, that was fair value. So when price comes up to there, more than likely, if it's untested, it will react. Naked points of control are great places to take profits or even look for a trade if we have a trade lined up. So we ended up taking our 28, and then I added in a couple times. My average was 31, and we ended up clearing all our targets for a pretty solid morning, and we were out of there by lunchtime, basically. So that was really the day. And it was funny because, there wasn't a whole lot of action. Once we had that great pre-market short, right? And then they did it again, essentially at the open. Here was the 27, and they just couldn't get the continuation. We really just had to shift gears, and we allowed VIX to be our tiebreaker and really help us out. But it was funny because as I'm sitting here kind of like talking about it in the stream, I got my man TML. He immediately pulls these up from yesterday. This is from the post-market breakdown. And I was like, he said, look at this. I said, I bet you we could sit here almost a whole day tomorrow. And that is really what happened pretty much most of the day. But essentially for the entire morning, we basically sat in this cluster here and just kind of balanced out, which was funny to see him pull that up. It made me laugh because I don't even, listen, I've been doing this a long time. I just say things, and whether it be right or wrong, it's generally right, but I don't remember everything I say. Obviously, these guys are keeping track. And, another thing that he put in here is this is going to be a battle zone for us right here. This is something I said yesterday. And it truly is a massive battle zone for us. And I'm just not convinced that we're going to continue our progression from this point. We have still not gained on the daily or the weekly time frame. We are still very much pointing to the downside. I'm not even sure we've gained on the 4-hour time frame, to be quite honest with you. I have to look, which we're going to do here real soon. But this is a massive inflection point. We talked about this the other day in the stream. And if you guys recall, I pointed out this spot right here at 33. I said, this is going to be a biggie. And then the other biggie is 67.87. And really the big spot that we're dealing with right now is between 33 and 81. Ultimately, my thought process is that we could maintain above 33. We'll see 81 with ease. But right now, that has not happened. Okay, so we did not maintain 33 throughout the close. We actually got a little smack. So let's just take a look at what the day is going to bring for us tomorrow. Kind of get an idea of what's cooking. And again, guys, I'm going to take a second to look at this. I have not looked at it since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So give me a brief moment just to see what's cooking here. All right, so mean, in my opinion, we haven't gained on the 4 hour at this point or the daily. You know, we had a nice firm close up here in 27, but we weren't able to maintain that, which is a little sketch in my opinion. I do see that we have some potential resistance untested here now. So here's the real deal. I mean, I don't want to, you know, make guesses. This is why I wait for RTH session. A lot happens in Globex. As you guys know, we've been getting more moves in Globex than we've ever been getting in cash session lately. So I'm just going to put it to you like this, and we'll go from there. And of course, my pen doesn't work, but what else is new, right? So let me try this one more time. Hang on. I got to get my pen up. This is a critical mission here. This is a critical mission talk. Give me 1 second. Let's see what we got. All right, pen. So essentially what I'm looking at is this is still my major battle zone. I am not completely convinced that this is going to go higher or lower. Okay, so I need to really wait and see what happens. This area right here is a very difficult zone. Okay, this is a really big spot for us to determine direction. Obviously, above 66.81, we come up and we're going to test the 67.87 spot. And this is our big smack spot. Okay, this is our leg down from here. Okay, but if they cannot stay above 33 right here, guys, ultimately we're going to look at 65.81. That's also that previous week's value area low. If they push below this, they've got some problems. Okay, now we do have a 4 hour at 55. And we could see this play and start to reclaim. And if we do that, they're going to go all the way back up. But if they lose 81 and they stay below 81, this thing's going to come down. Now, we do have the 18, and I think this is also a daily at 16.75. Okay, this area is technically, quote unquote, technically untested. But again, even though it's played multiple times, it's played here and it's played here. I'll show you what it looks like on the cash session. Played here and it's played here. Even though this is a big spot, we have not gained support on the daily time frame. And so I would not necessarily be looking to buy that area, more so looking to take it as a target. It's nice to see that the weekly VWAP is creeping up here as well. So that gives me a little, you know, confidence that this area will get a reaction, assuming that we come down into it. But ultimately, I will be looking at this for a target, not for a long personally. What you could do is exactly what I said in the trade plan. You let the 18 or 16 play, and you get back above that swing low at 25 before initiating your long. So you basically let it reclaim, and then you get up on it, and then your risk is managed at that point. But really, guys, I mean, we're going to see what happens tonight with Trump's speech, but this is going to be big for us. Below 33, we remain suppressed. Let's just call it above 90. We're going to come all the way up here, another 100 points into this area. So we will see what happens. Okay. Now, here's another reason why we could sit in this pocket for a minute. We are currently, right now, in the previous week's value area. There's a lot of volume in here, a lot, shit ton, actually. And we're right here. Okay. We are all in the mix right now. There is no reason why we can't simmer back and forth here for a while and digest this if they are truly looking to make the next move up. I'm not saying they are going to make the next move up. What I'm telling you is we have every reason to believe that if they stay in here and they accept value, that they will make that push up. As you can see, the previous weekly value area low area right here, that would fill this little gap. And if they push below this, it's over with. They'll come down in here and fill these singles up, right? But as long as they stay above this, we're going to sit in this area and fill all this shit in and accept for the next push higher up into this leg up here is 67.87. So that's what I got for you guys. This will go hand in hand with the trade plan tomorrow. We will see exactly where we open at. I am not putting anything past this market, honestly, on the Globex session. We've had so much fuckery in the middle of the night. Wake up and we're up, we're up 100 points. We have 100-point ranges in the middle of the night, and in the cash session we get 25 points or something. You get what I'm saying. So with that being said, we'll wait and see where we're at tomorrow. But that is the cash session overview. I gave you guys the insight. Do not forget to check out those prop firms if you're looking for some good deals. Use Vici at the close. Apex has got 90% off, and Lucid's got the 50% off. Check them out. Use code Vici. I will be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. obviously check me out. We'll be here doing the post-market breakdown from 5 to 5:30 tomorrow. And then for all my trade plan subscribers, I will have you the plan out before 8:30. And the guys, if you are a subscriber and you're not in this Discord room, you got to get in there. I mean, we have a sick squad, and we're all streaming. We're all doing our thing. You guys should be a part of it. Come through, conquer the markets with us. JL, I'm glad to see you made it. You're going to have to check out the recording YouTube chat because I'm out of here, guys. You guys be good. Tomorrow we do our thing again and enjoy. Cheers. Have a great night.